welcome once again to another SAM 10-Minute Tuesdays. I'm Joe Templin, the founder of The Intro Machine, and with me as usual is my partner in crime, Mickey Straub from SAM USA. Mickey, my friend, how are you doing today?
Very well, Joe. How are you doing?
I am doing incredibly well as soon as I take care of this one thing.
Yes, that's actually a hit right on topic here, because this is the price of distractions, and we all have them, you're not going to do away with them all. You're human. Get over it. You'll never be perfect. But the price of distractions is a great topic, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's called life.
Yes. And I don't know what it was. Someone somewhere I read, and I maybe was posting that if you're working on a project, whether it be at work or at home, and somebody comes along and grabs your attention to do something else, it takes you like 20 minutes to get back in the zone that you left. So that's the price, and that 20 minutes is huge, because it happens multiple times during the day. It happens a lot more when you're in an office and around other people. But there are some things that you can do, I think, to put things in place to minimize them. Because again, you'll never be perfect, but you need to be able to minimize those distractions. What are some of your thoughts, Joe?
That distractions end up taking away 3 to 4 hours of productivity per day for an average individual. And there's a lot of little things that you can do. For example, you can see my door is closed. Okay, so people can't just wander in and disturb me. And I've got the little sign on it, do not disturb. My phone is on do not disturb, so that it doesn't pop up with notifications from like my kids texting me or anything like that. My email is on do not disturb, and I will get back to it at the appropriate times per day. I typically block times that I respond to emails right before lunch and right before the end of the day, so that I'm not constantly going in and sending a quick email here and sending a quick email there and having to shift gears all that time, because shifting gears mentally drains you and wastes your time. But what do you think, Mickey?
Oh yeah, it does distract you. It gets you off track. I know. I sent a text to my siblings every day. They sent out a group text in the morning. All of a sudden, I have 5 brothers and sisters, so they're going back and forth. And I finally had to administer a little tough love, and I texted back, "Hey guys, do me a favor." And by the way, most of them are retired, so I could be pretty blunt, and they don't really have a whole lot of other things to do, And I said, during business hours, please do not put me on a group text, and because those are distracting, and you can't. It's not as easy as closing your door because it's on a phone, but you should do not disturb. Group texts are one of those things you really got to nip in the bud. But the other things we talked about in the past are time blocking. Between this time and this time, make phone calls. Between this time and this time, do administrative work. I know Dan Sullivan's big on that. We have green days, red days, yellow days. Great ideas. I also think that one thing I've started doing more of is lumping topics, because I'm guilty of it. I'd be walking past the receptionist desk and I would say, "Oh, by the way, can you do this? By the way, can you do that?" And that takes her off course. So at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, twice a day, we have touch base meetings or thereabouts, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, depending on my schedule. And I write down. Still just occasionally use my my cliff notes or my sticky notes. I know I use index cards too. I know you do too. But lump those topics. But another idea is to do what you must first, and just get it done. Rip off the Band-Aid. The urgent versus important. Some things are we tend to go to the urgent, but block out the time for the important. So. I have some closing thoughts, but I know you have some other additional ideas you want to contribute.
Well, I am ADHD. Anybody who knows me realizes this pretty quickly. It's like I have 15,000 browsers open in my head all the time, and somewhere something's playing circus music. That's my life, and it's been that way forever. That's the reason why I have a dozen degrees in 4 different fields, and I do all these different sports and everything, just because my brain is going constantly in so many different directions. And so one of the things that I do every single morning after I do my base workout routines and all that, I sit down, I look at my day, I spend a couple of moments just thinking. And then I put down on an index card, as I learned as a pledge 30 plus years ago, these are the 5 things that I need to get done today. 2 of them actually happen to be related to kids and Cub Scout related stuff, but the other 3 are always work. And so I know this is the most important criteria for my day. If I take care of this and I get it done by 2 o'clock, guess what? I can go out and have a run because I have done the important things for the day. And it gives me this visual reinforcement, and I check them off one after another, and it prevents me from having all the distractions somewhat because I focus on those key things.
Yeah, there are those that would argue that you should do it on your phone or do it digitally. I know Franklin Covey did this big study years ago that trying to decide what's better, paper or technology, and they came to the conclusion that there's a better connection between the mind and the pencil than the mind and the keyboard.
Mhm.
However, if anybody is listening to this has any ideas on how they use it successfully, using the little reminders thing on their phone or some way of doing it digitally, certainly we're all ears, and we can share that in the future, or maybe even have you on a call.
Yeah,
But
I'd love to hear that. My theory on it is whatever works for you,
Yeah.
works for you.
Yeah, I get it. But I want to let everybody know that if you feel tempted to get distracted, fight it. Don't do it. You know, there's always a temptation to do what you want to do or what you enjoy doing versus what you have to do. But just fight it. I was reading something in a book called My Daily Bread. It was about it was a spiritual book, but it's also about sinning. You know, and it's whatever you want to do something wrong, fight it. And that's what you'll be held accountable for, is not that you'll ever be perfect, but that you're always moving in that direction. You're always trying to get better at it. And remember, everybody, this is a saying that I heard from a very experienced person in personality profiles that I heard over 25 years ago. It's a great line, that you cannot change your core personality. All you can do is manage it. So
That's a good idea.
with that, you can't change your core personality. All you can do is manage it. And by all means, everybody, remember that sales is an activity game, and that the introductions, like Joe knows best, help you win that game every day. But also, so does minimizing the price of distractions. Thanks for joining us.